All right, well, big night from Jonathan Humple, helps lead Lewis Central into a state championship game. Jonathan, a hard-fought battle, definitely I'd say a lot closer than the final score indicated. But you guys are where you want to be. Just what's going through the mind right now?
A lot. I mean, we worked very hard to get to the point where we're at, and I got to give props to Waverly-Shell for giving us a tough time in the first half there.
You put the ball on the turf on like the second play of the game. Kind of similar to last week. I think it might have been a little bit later when that happened, but speak to kind of the mental fortitude to shake that off. Obviously, you don't want to fumble it, but it seems like it does kind of allow you to regrip when you do.
I just forgot about it and moved on. My teammates brought me up, lifted me up, and just told me to move on to the next play.
Talk about your vision tonight. It seemed like you were able to, get some nice chunks.
Mm-hmm. I got to give it to my own line, forgiving me creases to run through. And to be able to run the ball like how I did tonight, you got to give props to them.
Yeah, this was a defense that I think was only allowing like 71 yards against the run per game. You rushed for almost 200. Aside from obviously the offensive line, where do you feel that success came from tonight?
Just us, together as a team. We worked together as a team to put the ball in the end zone, and the wide receivers did their part, the O-line did their part, our quarterback did his part, and it all paid off.
Describe to me the feeling of, shining at the Unidome. Obviously, the entire state is watching. What is that moment like?
Unbelievable, I have no words. I don't know what to say.
Talk about that. I think it was a 51-yard touchdown. Looked like you hit the truck button. Then you were able to break off an ankle tackle. What did you see there?
I saw the guy in I thought I was going to get tackled, but then I kind of threw him down, and just took off to the races.
State championship game next week. I know it's still fresh. We don't even know who you guys are going to play yet. But what's the approach, or what do you think is going to be the approach for you guys?
Just be ourselves, play ourselves. Just play how we always have played.
Well, it's another big night for Luciano Fadoni and the Andrews Holders Lewis Central moving on to the state championship game. Luigi, I know we had talked last week about how you were excited for this opportunity, and you made the most of it. Just what's the thoughts right now?
I'm really excited. We get to move on. First time in LC history, and it's good to be a part of it. And that's what I came to the school for, is this program. And we did a lot of things different, and this is what it led up to. And I'm excited for the championship now.
What was it that made the offense click tonight?
I think it was just the little things, We've always worked on little things. We always praise on little things. And, we did that this game, and it showed. And we did everything that we needed to do.
Talk about the chemistry between you and Rylin tonight. I think you had 8 catches, over 100 yards, a couple of big scores we'll touch on in a moment. But, what's that relationship been like, as you evolve throughout the year?
It's been amazing because me and him have played football since, I think, 5th grade or whenever we started. And, I was a running back at the time, and then I switched to a wide receiver slot, and then from there on we just bonded together.
The screen touchdown gave you guys the lead, and it looked like maybe, if anything, just allowed you guys to settle in the second half. Second straight week you've been able to do that, but take us through that play. What did you see?
I just seen an open. My guys blocked actually really well, and then I seen an open path and I hit it, and then it led to a tutty.
State championship Thursday night. Obviously, that's what you want to do. That's where you want to be. How do you try to attack the next week? What's the approach going into next Thursday?
More practice, little things, new plays, and a lot of things that we did last week, and just keep doing it.
All right, Rylin, you guys are headed to the state championship game for the first time in program history after a strong second half. What does it mean?
It just feels amazing. First time in Lewis Central history to get that state championship, and feels good.
First half, it was kind of a dogfight. It's a tie game. I know you probably have some throws that you would like to have back in the first half, but second half you seemed a lot more composed and settled in. What was the difference?
Yeah, I knew we had to. They went down and scored right away, so we knew we had to come back with another score. So had to calm down and just play our game.
Was there an emphasis maybe at halftime to just kind of settle down? Obviously, when you get out there and kick off, I'm sure the nerves are spinning and stuff, but what was the message at halftime?
We knew we had a drive there. We have to go punch one in. So just switched up our offense from pass run and just broke open from there.
Speak to you and Luigi's chemistry tonight. Man, it looked on.
Yeah, he's an amazing athlete. He's fast, got good hands, so it makes it really easy when you got that type of attributes.
The touchdown you threw to Blake early on in the game, that might have been one of the prettiest high school balls I've seen. What did you see on that play?
They came up. We knew they were going to run man, so they came and pressed up, and I leaved them a guy, one-on-one matchup, and just tossed it up there.
Balanced night for you guys. The run game really came on in the second half. Speak to, being able to lead a balanced offense like that.
I really give it to our O-line. They just know how to win the pass, win the run. Makes it a lot easier to be able to do both.
State championship game next week. There's a lot of teams that would love to be where you guys are at right now. What's it going to take for you guys to come out on top?
Hard work of practice, preparation, get in the film room, see who we're playing, and just go make history.
All right, Coach. 2 years ago, we met in the same round, and obviously it was a little more somber, but cheerful this time. You guys live to fight another week. Just what are the thoughts?
I'm just extremely proud of our kids, just to keep battling, all year long. Seeing some adversity and being down and coming back and keep fighting, they just don't flinch. And, we've been through a gauntlet. We've played some really darn good football teams, and our kids just continue to respond week in and week out and, come to practice and do the little things right and put themselves in the position to win football games.
You guys, no strangers to Cedar Falls. You've been here before, but I know you guys probably would have liked to have had those games back in 18 and 19. How much of an emphasis was there coming into this one on maybe kind of being able to clean up some of the things that had doomed you guys in those meetings and in the 2 losses this year?
Yeah, it really, coming into this week, was really to finish the fight. You've put in a lot of time, you put in a lot of work, and, don't let this be the end. And, the guys have responded to that. 18 and 19 when we were here, those were the building blocks for this. This doesn't happen if it wasn't for those 2 years and what those kids that were before us did and what the coaches, Coach Duggan did for this program to build this program to where it is. We're just really living off the fruit of those efforts that were put into place. And, our kids have seen the successes, of those guys that come before them. They want to be in this position, and our kids, being here before, I think played in our favor. We just knew, just stay consistent, stay with the formula, and continue just to grind it out and make plays when you get an opportunity.
I think a turnover on the second play for you guys, but then you turn around and you create one. How big do you think that was, just to kind of watch things there?
Yeah, you have ups and downs, and that's what you're going to get in really good football teams. You got to fill each other out, and what are they going to try to do, and what are you going to try to do, and things like that. So really huge, obviously devastating to turn the ball over right away to start the game, but to come up with the interception right there in the goal line and get us the ball back, and really just trade possessions. We had a great pass, to Blake Cyborn there to get the scoring going, and we had another long one that was sort of called back because we were in illegal formation and things like that, and so we killed ourselves there the first half. We unnecessary drops and mistakes that we had, but you know what? They never really got down on themselves. They just knew they were going to keep playing. And I think that's a tribute to the schedule that we played early on, and what we've been through.
Looked like in the first half, you guys had some open guys. It didn't connect. Maybe Rylin was a little nervous, but he really settled into the second half. Was there anything particular that was said or implied to him going into the second half?
No, I just think we were doing some uncharacteristic things for whatever the reason was. You're playing here. Even though a lot of these guys have been here, they haven't played on this stage. And so that first half, we just had to really settle those guys in and make some plays. And, and they did, and then you get to the second half and you start opening things up. And Jonathan Humple had a great second half, carrying the ball on our line. You can't do anything without the offensive line. And then those guys did a fabulous job. And the defense kept getting us the ball back and empty possessions in that part. And, so they played phenomenal, against a great football team.
I think coming in, Waverly-Shell was only allowing 71 yards per game or whatever against the rush. You guys post over 200. Aside from the offensive line, what were the keys tonight in that?
Just to keep them off balance, to get them to run and chase some of our perimeter stuff. and then take our shots down the field. And that was, we had to sort of find holes for Jonathan and get some creases and find what was going to work. And schematically, how are they going to defend us and the zone read and that kind of stuff. And it took us a little while, but you know what, that's what's going to happen. You're not going to have big games rushing the ball or throwing the ball all the time against great teams. You got to have to sort of nickel and dime and work your way down the field and make plays that way. And our guys just stay in tune with what we're trying to do.
Told me last week you were excited to get another week with the guys, and you get one more to play for all the marbles. Obviously, we don't know what the matchup's going to be yet. We'll know soon enough. But how do you guys try to approach this next week?
I think first and foremost you got to enjoy it, and you got to take time to celebrate a little bit. But that week's going to turn around really quick. Next Thursday for our guys, and it's the same message going to be to them. You just got to finish. You got to finish, and it's not okay just enough to get there, to get to the championship game. The goal is to ultimately win, and we'll find out that matchup and we'll see where it is. And it's just unbelievable feeling to be playing the last week of the high school football season next week.